Now, was this the best meal that I have ever had here in Spain? No. Hola, Spanish food lovers, and it's that time of the day again, time for lunch. I'm here in a Madrid town called Chinchón. I'm hungry, and I found this restaurant here behind me, and I'm going to try the local fare. Now, to be honest, the restaurant looks a little bit dodgy. I've been inside, and there's not many people. In fact, there's nobody eating in the restaurant, so it's going to be an interesting experience today, I reckon. So let's go and try the food. And of course, if you don't mind eating in a restaurant where people's clothes are hanging just above it, this could be the place for you. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous about the food today, primarily because the place looks fairly old, the kitchen looks a bit dodgy, and also it's in a part of town that is not very popular with tourists, so not sure what the quality of the food is going to be like. And also, to order the food, it has not been easy because the owner of this establishment didn't understand what I wanted to do. I told her that I wanted to record a video. She didn't seem to get the idea, so I spent 5 minutes trying to convince her to let me sit down and record what I'm going to eat today. But I think she understands finally what I'm going to do. Now, I've ordered 3 things which are fairly typical in this part of Spain. I'll show them to you when they come out, when they're cooked. But basically, I've chosen 3 raciones. Now, if you're not familiar with the word ración, basically it's a plate that people would normally share. I'm not sharing today because I'm the only one eating this meal, but that's what Spanish people would normally do. They'd order 3 or 4 of these plates of food, different things, and of course tuck in and enjoy the experience, because as we know, food here in Spain is a social experience, and that is what people enjoy doing at weekends and also during the week, eating these raciones. So as I said, a little bit hesitant, but at the same time looking forward to trying the food. So let's wait. Now I'll show you around this restaurant, a fairly typical comedor here in Spain, or dining room or dining hall. No one else with me today, so I'm eating on my own. I've just been told by one of the owners that she doesn't want to appear in the video, but as I said before, I'm having trouble explaining to the owners of this place exactly what I'm doing, so it's going to be interesting. Now, drinking water today because I have to drive, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked to have had a nice glass of red wine, but not the case. Muchas gracias. Now, the first dish, as you can see, has arrived. It's taken around 10 minutes, 12 minutes to prepare, so it's come out hot, and this is a dish that nowadays you will find on virtually every restaurant menu in this part of Spain at least, and other parts of the country as well, the famous huevos rotos, or broken eggs. The eggs, as you can see, are not broken currently. I have to break them, and that is a part of the experience of eating this dish. Now let's have a look at exactly what I have on the plate. So we've got, as you can see, 2 fried eggs, perfectly fried, I will say. Look at that, breaking the egg open, the yolk running out. We've got fries underneath, or chips if you like. We've also got Spanish ham on top of this as well, which is a cured ham. You can have a look at a piece of that ham here. Looks appetizing, so let's dig in and see. Now, the idea here is to break the eggs, hence the name huevos rotos. So you break them like this, and then you mix all of the ingredients in together, and you should have a very, very tasty plate of food indeed. And as I said, raciones, the idea is that you sit here with 3 or 4 people, sometimes more, and you share the food in the center of the table. So let's break this up, let's dig in. But the smell is quite nice, I will say. And as I said before, I was a little bit hesitant when I walked into this restaurant, given the look of the people in here and also the establishment in itself. But since the food has come out, my mind is changing. So let's see if it tastes as good as it looks. Let's have a look. It is what you would expect: chips, eggs, and ham. But very, very popular. And there's different things that you can have on top of the chips. The eggs and the chips are standard, but you can put other things on here as well. Chorizo, for example, you'll find quite often on top of the eggs and chips, but this one with ham, which is very, very popular. Let's dig in, another mouthful. Well seasoned, I will say. The quality of the ham, let's be honest, it's not the most expensive ham available here in Spain, more of the cheaper variety. But with the eggs and the chips, it goes together well. This is a dish that was made famous by a restaurant in the center of Madrid, a place called Casa Lucio, I think, but now Every restaurant in Spain is doing the same thing. And one of the reasons it is so popular is that it's very, very hard to mess this dish up. I mean, you can't go wrong. Eggs, chips, and ham. What more can I say? Is it the healthiest meal in the world? Probably not, but it sure is tasty. Now, the fork is down because I don't want any more of this. I don't want to get too full because I've got 2 more things to come. You'll see what they are in just a moment. But I'm going to rate this dish. I reckon it's around a solid 7.5, maybe 7.8 out of 10, if that makes sense. Not the best, not the worst that I've had. Huevos rotos con jamón. Let's wait for the next one.
Ahora te hago otra concreta que se ha deshecho.
Muy bien.
Te la hago ahora, ¿vale?
Vale, vale. Okay, now the next thing that I've ordered has arrived. Again, another stock standard ración here in the center of Spain and other parts of the country as well. Croquetas, a very, very popular dish. People ordering this to share because you can have 1 or 2 croquetas each, depending on how many people you are at the table. And kids love this. My son absolutely loves croquetas. In fact, he spent the first 10 years of his life basically only eating croquetas. And that's what we've got on the plate today. I'll show you exactly what we've got inside in just a moment. Now, the secret to a good croqueta is how well they are fried, and also what we have on the inside. I'll just cut into this one and show you guys exactly what we have. This is rabo de toro inside, and again, stock standard here in Spain. The fillings may differ. Quite common to get just like a ham filling, a cod filling as well, also quite common. But the specialty of this place here, obviously, rabo de toro, which they must have had last week on the menu. And the leftovers have been made into croquetas. So let's see what it tastes like. Is it the most attractive thing that I've ever seen on my plate? Probably not. But again, the taste is what matters. And let's try. So fairly simple. It's well fried. It's cooked on the inside, which is important because sometimes they can come out half frozen. But these have been well fried, as we can see from the outside. I'll just show you guys that one there. Well fried, and the taste inside is actually quite nice, the rabo de toro, which I had last week, so I'm becoming an expert in rabo de toro, or oxtail stew if you like. And inside the croqueta, surprisingly nice. Again, it's not the best croqueta that I've ever had. It's not the worst either. A lot of places nowadays you'll find have frozen croquetas. Maybe they've been brought in. These ones seem to have been made here, so that's a pro. Let's have some more. And how many did we have on the plate? I think there were 6. I can't remember exactly how many I've eaten. But yeah, not bad. We'll see what the price is a little bit later on. But these are going to vary anywhere in price between €1 per croqueta, sometimes 2, depending on the quality. If they put something fancy in the middle, you'll pay a little bit more. But I think the price of this was around €7 or €8. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I'm going to be charged for this. And I'm not complaining. So I'm just going to have another bite of this croqueta. Let me see if I can get it onto my fork here. If I can, let's see. Don't want that chip. So that actually is quite a flavoursome croqueta. It's not too oily, it's cooked well, and I can't say a bad thing about it, to be honest. Now, because I've got a third dish coming out, I don't want any more croqueta, so I'll put that one over there and wait for the third. Now, I've just realised that I might have gone a little potato heavy today. The first dish that I ordered with chips, and I think the last one coming up also has fried potatoes. So a carb overload, but what can you do in this part of the country? The last dish was recommended by the owner, apparently quite popular, so that's why I ordered it. The other thing that I wanted wasn't available, so I might have made a mistake ordering too many potato dishes, but we'll see. The third one's coming up now. Muchas gracias. In fact, I have made a mistake looking at this dish, ordering too many potatoes, but that's life. And what have we got here exactly? Well, all I can say is that the smell of garlic is overpowering. That's on top of these chips, if you like. They're fairly thinly sliced, so we'll see if I have made a mistake or indeed I have something decent to eat here. Time will tell. So what exactly have I got on the plate here? Well, as I said, thin sliced fried potatoes with garlic on top, garlic and oil, and also parsley that we can see here. The potatoes seem to be well fried, but I'm not sure that this is something that I would order under normal circumstances, considering the fact that I had plenty of chips on this dish here. So this could be a mistake, and I might have to spend the next 3 days riding my bicycle to burn off all of the carbs that I'm eating today. So let's dig in, see if I can get past that overpowering smell of garlic. Let's try it. So it is what it is, and compared to some of the other things that I've ordered today, not as good, but I'm stuck with it, so I may as well dig in. The garlic, as I said, the smell is overpowering, and also the taste, very, very strong. So if you don't like garlic, this is not going to be for you. I don't mind it, but I'm having trouble with this because there's so much of it on it. So let me see if I can take some positives out of this. I'm going to be honest, it's not going to be easy. The chips are decently fried, can't complain. They're not too oily. There's a little bit of extra oil on top for flavour, which is obviously mixed in with the garlic and also with the parsley. So not bad in that regard. Taste-wise, well seasoned. Let's have another try. And again, if you come to a restaurant like this with a group of friends on a Friday or Saturday night, sit down, have a few beers, glass of wine, and order some food, you're not going to be disappointed. But for me, ordering this as a midday meal, probably not the best choice that I could have made. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Bit more? Now I'm just going to have one more because I don't want to overdo it, and I don't want to reek of garlic for the next 6 months. So to sum up what I have eaten today, the first dish here, the first ración, huevos rotos con jamón, not bad. I reckon 7.5 out of 10. The second thing I ordered were these croquettes here, which were surprisingly good. They don't look like the most appetizing thing in the world, but the taste was quite nice. The rabo de toro on the inside, a decent croqueta, 7.5, 8 out of 10. And the final thing here, this dish of potatoes, these garlic potatoes, if you like. I'm going to be honest, I wish I had not ordered this particular one because I've had a carb overload with so many potatoes and so many fried things on the table here currently. So I reckon I'm going to give this a 6 or a 6.5 out of 10 just because the garlic is so overpowering. But like I said, if you're here with a few friends, you've had a few beers, this food might not seem that bad at all. Now let's wait for the bill, see the damage, and I'll give my final thoughts. And another thing I'll say is that I have been sitting here for close to an hour and not another soul has wandered in to this part of the restaurant. So maybe that's a sign. So the bill has arrived and it has been paid. The total price, what do you think I paid for the meal today? Those 3 raciones, the water, and also some bread that was put on the table that I didn't eat but I've been charged for anyway. Well, the total price is 31 euros and 20 cents, as you can see here. The breakdown, the bottle of water, 1 euro and 20 cents. The croquetas, 9 euros. The potato dish that I had called tapas chulas, 7 euros and 50 cents, I think. Huevos rotos, 12 euros and 50 cents. And the bread, which as I said I didn't touch, 1 euro. And the restaurant here is El Mirador, and we're in Chinchón, Madrid. Now, was this the best meal that I have ever had here in Spain? No, far from it. Was it the worst meal that I've ever had here in Spain? No, far from it. This is a typical meal that you would have with friends, as I mentioned, tapeando, tomando raciones, which is very, very common here in Spain, with a few beers, couple of glasses of wine, sit down, order this food, and you would be very, very satisfied indeed. For lunch, not necessarily so. I was looking to buy something else, but of course they didn't have it available today, so a little bit disappointed. And the owner of the restaurant suggested that I try those patatas chulas, which in hindsight was a mistake, not only because they were too strong for my liking with the garlic, but also because I'd had chips with that previous dish, the huevos rotos, which was, let's be honest, the standout for me today. The croquetas weren't bad, they weren't the best, they weren't the worst, and the last dish here, I could have done without it. So my final thoughts on this meal today, well, to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed, not because of the quality of the food, not because of the amount of food that I had today, but because of the choices that I made. I wouldn't make those same choices again, but You live and learn. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you have anything to add to the conversation today, please, the comment section is the place for you. If you like croquettes, let me know. If you like huevos rotos, let me know. And if you would eat that potato dish that I had last up today, let me know if you would or not in the comment section below. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego and buen provecho from Chinchón.